Two Protosses left. One moves on. The other player, well, his story ends here today.
It's a lot prettier today, Tasteless.
Thank you.
No, never mind.
I do look good in that dress, though.
That's true.
I think SOS moves on.
Probably.
Panic looks like he's playing better.
Panic definitely played better than Ruin. Like, Ruin...
Well, Ruin didn't seem to be able to get to
today
point
and
A.
go 0-4 and just...
Yeah, he did. He wasn't able to get from point A at the start of the game to point B, like, properly with his builds. It was kind of bumpy. It looks like he just needs some more practice. And on to this match here. Again, I would be so surprised if SOS didn't win. I would expect SOS to get deep in this tournament, at least Final 8.
Yeah, he's really strong in PvP, but I think like a really solid PvP player can take him out. Panic, I think, chose good builds. I think things like that 3-gate rush he did,
yeah,
I think a build like that's going to be very nice against SOS. And here on Frost, he can't do a build like that. I think here on Frost, he needs to go for a fast expand. He needs to follow it up with an instant Stargate or an instant Twilight. He just needs to do something extremely decisive after taking an expansion, and he's going to have a shot.
Our match will be on Frost, Artie McTosis. Is that the name of that movie, that Disney movie that's out? That's got a good song. Is that Frozen?
I think it's Frozen.
Frozen? Oh, man. All right. Have you seen that movie yet?
I've seen parts of it.
That song's actually really good.
It is.
It's actually good. It's playing everywhere, man.
Playing in my gym, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like, let it go, let it go. And you just drop the dumbbell on your chest. You're like, ah. All right, time for game number 1. Let's see if Panic can cause an upset here.
Panic versus SOS.
You know what other song is playing all over Korea in every coffee shop? Is that What's the Fox Say?
That song's kind of old, isn't it?
I guess so, but like, you know, things get here later, obviously.
That's true.
You know, it's got to flow through like many countries to get here. Tasteless. Russia's big. Takes a while.
Like travels through there on foot. Is that how it gets here?
Something like that. It's a migration of songs on the internet. But anyways, that song is in coffee shops all the time now. Anytime I go to a coffee shop, it's on.
That song is like the lyrics to it just make me think of like a kid that's trying to tell a story, but he doesn't want the story to end, so he just keeps making stuff up.
Yeah, that's actually.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you mean. You gotta like those guys have a lot of songs. Check out Stonehenge by them.
Yeah,
I thought it was so funny.
Is it good?
It's good. Actually, it's really good. I'm like going through my mind right now. It's
I mean, is it good musically, or is it good because it's funny, or both?
It's good because it's funny. I don't even remember if the song was good, but it's funny.
Bloodhound Gang had a lot of good music like that. It was like funny, but also pretty good.
I don't know who they are.
What is like let's do it like mammals? Let's do it
on the Discovery Channel. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like in 6th grade. I'm like,
That's how you laughed in 6th grade.
That's how I laughed in 6th grade. My toes wiggling around. Can't believe we're talking about this.
Well,
so we got cores coming down here now.
Yeah, it's like a slightly slower second gas from Panic. It's just a more mineral-intensive build that we're watching out of him right now. No biggie. So do you have any,
do you want me to talk about weird stuff until we get this?
Weird stuff? Well, I was going to ask you something. But
ask me something. No, ask me.
What weird stuff were you going to talk about? Well, I was just wondering if you have any new good music lately.
I just found out about. Okay, now here's the thing: is to defend myself before I say things, because I'm finding musicians much later out here in Seoul, because a lot of the Western music we just get later on.
Yeah,
I'm actually trying to get more into like some like music blogs and stuff where I can find stuff, because I used to be like totally like on top of my music. I just found out about Woodkid. Woodkid's very good. You know?
Oh
Woodkid?
yeah.
No, it's quite good. Listen to that.
Okay.
Discovered that like a week ago. Actually, when you've been in a foreign country for a long time and you're getting older, is when you find out about some music groups on the airplane in the and you're like, oh, what songs do they have here? And you've got your headset plugged in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into this new song called "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen. It's really good.
Have you heard of Linkin Park? I think they're fantastic.
All right, so let's look here, man. It's
he's going for a Dark Shrine, but here's the thing I learned about from Linkin Park is in the end it might not even matter, you know?
Well, it matters still. I mean, let's not be defeatist.
DT rushed and tried so hard.
This is blank against DT.
Yep.
And we'll check the timing of when Panic throws down the Robo, but DT can absolutely beat blank. Now, will he throw down the Robo with this? If he does, it's a kind of a dated build, but it's a very good build. It was actually, I would say, before the Oracle buff, it was the best build overall is DT Robo. And there it is. The Robo goes down. So it's just kind of like a little bit of an older build. This is like something that Deer used a lot last year.
But also, if you go into the long late game, it covers a lot of your tech, you know?
Oh, yes,
you got a lot of different options.
You always have the tech advantage with this build. And you have harassment options. You have detection. It's like, it's completely safe, except against some of these new Oracle builds, really. So I actually really like the position he's in. That Dark Shrine is going to finish. He has no detection. The Robo starts just now because he sees this pile and he realizes, uh-oh. And he sees that and he's like, well.
He's out.
So now he knows that there's going to be a DT in his base and he can't really put pressure on his opponent. We need to see an expansion right now by SOS.
Force field. Force field.
Good work, Cases.
I want to pretend I played a part in that working the way it did.
Now this is very expensive for Panic to stop this. Like 2 sentries that he didn't want to make because he's trying to go for a quick blink. He's making the Robo. He's having a wall in here. And behind it, SOS has 2 tech routes already completed, and he has a Nexus making. Like SOS is way far ahead now, and this is one of the reasons why this build was so good. It's just against like a quick Oracle, you don't have a lot of anti-air and stuff like that, so that's why we saw it kind of go away. But it's still a strong build. It's the only build I used for like a month.
What's good when you have a well-rounded build like that.
Yeah.
And he's going to get in. Let's see if he gets a sentry.
Oh my god, he even gets a sentry with that.
He might get a second
oh
sentry.
My
yep,
god, he got 2 sentries. Oh, he's just so far ahead. Panic, you are just... Ugh. This is a messy situation. Like, I can't imagine what Panic can do to win this game. He may as well, like, spread out. Like, I don't even know because Hallucinated Phoenix is so damn quick. Like, he needs to go send a probe to the top right and just make 2 Stargates and start making Void Rays because that's about the best way that he's going to have to come back.
This is a bad start here for Panic for sure.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to hold it off just fine and get the sentries away and everything else, but it didn't work out.
No Perino.
No Perino. Sounds like it's actually a word if you know.
Yeah. This is like, look at this. His Nexus halfway done while SOS is like mining so heavily from his. He's 8 probes behind. His tech is slower. His quick blink did 0. He's lost sentries. His parents don't love him.
he didn't get to kiss that girl at band camp. Like everything's just going terribly.
Oh, that's bad.
Now this Phoenix can confirm for SOS that SOS has a massive lead. Look at that Immortal's legs. Look at
He's just dancing.
He had a little leg spasm there.
He's dancing. He's expressing himself through the art of Immortal dance.
I would love to see an Immortal dance like in tap dance shoes.
Yeah.
You know what we should be able to do in StarCraft is like, well, you're one of these people like that dresses your pets up and like
you get skins.
Get skins for the.
I disagree with you.
I think
we should not be able to get skins.
You get skins, man. I wish you get skins that you can't turn off. You're like losing to some guy that's got stalkers with like little Christmas elf hats. You're like, this is just terrible. This is just so frustrating right now.
I think I'd lose my mind if there were different skins for units. There's just too much stuff going on in StarCraft. If it's like one unit, like a MOBA, I get it. It makes sense.
It's like the Colossus is a giant spider. Like,
yeah, it's... No, I don't accept it. It's not allowed.
I think that skins would help StarCraft 2 more. The skins that you can't turn up would help StarCraft 2 more than if we just had 15 Protosses.
Well, that
in the round of 16, I think a
bullet in StarCraft's head would help more than 15 Protosses in the round of 16. Thank God we can't get 15. We're down to 14.
14 is the maximum possible right now. All right.
Should mine from those minerals. Those are huge.
Yeah, no kidding. That's where the real money makers are. So you have to get the Immortals to mine from those.
SOS is taking his third, and he's still ahead in supply and upgrades. Like, the amount ahead that we were talking about before is continuing to show itself with SOS being able to do everything.
And
in fact,
can't imagine SOS even getting behind in this situation. I mean, there's really no way that he's going to drop the ball here.
There's no way for him to really get behind. Like, he's sending out enough hallucinations. He can't get behind. It's not going to happen. Like, you better go hide your Stargate somewhere real good. Poor Panic. Poor Panic. He's taking his third. SOS, though, going to have his third done way before. He's going to have his +2 done. Well, his +2 is actually a little bit slower, so that's fair.
This is a very straightforward game here. I mean, SOS has a lead. All he has to do, as Artosis said way back in the day, a simple way to think about StarCraft, when you're ahead, what do? You get more ahead. And that's all SOS is doing right now. SOS is just keeping his upgrades, tidying up his base, staying on top of pylons, clearing up the map, and eventually he's going to get to a cap where he has the upgrades, the supply advantage.
Yeah, and his tech route's really quite great too, because when you are ahead and you go Colossus, that's really nice. Now this is some nice micro here by Panic. He gets that Colossus losing 2 Stalkers, so that was actually really fantastic by Panic. If he does something like that like 5 more times, he's going to be fine. Of course, that's a little bit doubtful, but what I really, really like is that he is going into Colossus tech, because while personally I don't like Colossus tech that much in PvP, when you're ahead like this in basically every way, it's quite simple for you to go ahead and grab Colossus and just make this army that's going to be unbeatable, because we see that Panic is desperately trying to get into Tempest, but SOS is going to scout that, and he's going to be able to like research Blank, and I mean, he could go for his own Tempest as well if he likes. Like, Tempest Colossus is pretty hilarious together. Yeah, it's just looking really, really good for SOS still. As you can see in the supply difference, it's gigantic.
All right, SOS is coming out here. He may try to shut down the third here, or see if he can just get his opponent out of position. We do have Panic coming to meet him, actually. And actually, Panic might get stuck over here on the right, and he does retreat now. We have 1 Colossus pursuing that. Now, he's got a good amount of Immortals, but it's really all about the angle that the Immortals can come in at. The Immortals want to hit the Colossi, and I see with this hole here in the middle, it's going to be hard for the Immortals to actually get up there and charge.
The thing is, SOS is up 30 supply and only has like 2 less Immortals, but he has... The Zealots are just going to be shredded so quickly, and he has way more Zealots than his opponent. His opponent has very little splash to deal with that, just some Archons, 2 Archons.
Nicely done, just hitting those probes, then going for the Nexus. And we see Panic coming around here now. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is, other than, I guess, probably
he's going for
his opponent's third.
A delayed base trade. He's going for, like, a ridiculous...
Delayed base trade.
It doesn't even make sense.
Delayed.
Well, the thing is, he loses his base, and then, like, gets intercepted because there's this thing called the Mothership Core, and it has this recall ability that's pretty good. Well, what is there to say here, Tasteless?
There's nothing to say here, actually. This is pretty, this is pretty much like, again, this is not exactly like when you beat your neighbor kid friend growing up in the RTS game. This might be more like there was that other kid at school that also played StarCraft II who supposedly was good and sat at the different lunch table, and you guys decided to play, and you were clearly better, and you know, this is what happened, and it was kind of it's not
I feel like you're telling a story about yourself. But,
yeah. So that's because this is how there was like some kid at my school that was really good at StarCraft supposedly, and I played him, and I totally like bopped him, like several times. Like, he wasn't bad, but I mean, I'm just so good. So I just, I bopped him, man. And then he accused me of being a hacker.
Oh, you were a hacker, weren't you? Everyone knows that Tasteless was a hacker.
He accused me of hacking, and I was like, I can't believe that you're accusing me of hacking. I go to school with you. But it was like about that level. It wasn't like when I beat, my neighbor kid friend who was like 8 years younger than me or something like that. It's like, well, it's just going to be bashing, but it feels kind of good.
Okay. That's a pretty good metaphor for this.
Any stories of kids that you played with that you knew in your neighborhood you played StarCraft with?
The only story I have is they had like LANs, and they wouldn't invite me because I was too good.
You were that kid? Or I guess I should say they were those kids?
Yeah. They had like LAN tournaments, and they're like, oh no, Dan's too good at video games.
Dan's too good.
So yeah, that's the end of my story. It's a sad.
That's a sad story. Conclusion to Panic versus SOS. Artosis never had friends. Going into game number 2.
Alright, so there's some Void Rays out to help deal with these Tempests. He does have the Tempest out, so we'll see what he can get done. Unfortunately, the Void Ray is going to take them out extremely quickly.
Yeah, we're probably going to be seeing GG here. Yeah, I mean, this game ended a while ago. GG.
That, you know what that was? That was like
SOS
that was like one of the worst movies I ever saw, called Skyline. It was like this alien movie where aliens come and invade Earth, and it's like it follows this little group of people stuck in an apartment, and like they try to get away. And
Is this
stuff.
movie old? I've never heard of this.
No, it's somewhat new actually.
Oh,
like,
actually, I have heard
5
of this.
or 6 years.
I take it back. This
one of the worst films ever made.
Really?
And, yeah, it was like barfable. It was so bad.
Barfable.
Barfable. Like I would throw up if I had to watch it again.
Wow.
I'd rather throw up, mix my puke with meat, and drink it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.